Think about how much time and money you spend on marketing. And if you're doing anything traditional, I mean magazines and newspaper and mailers, you need to stop. Just stop that now. It is a complete waste of time and money. It is dead and or dying. So let's move out of that realm. What you need to do is focus online. That's where the world is going. So knowing that you have to have your business online and do your marketing online isn't a revelation, I get that. But here's what I can tell you. Just because you're there doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. And it doesn't mean that it's helping your business, and many times it's hurting your business. So I make a habit of going out and looking at the online footprint of businesses. And I can tell you in 3 minutes or less, and usually within the first minute, I can decide whether your online presence is helping your business or hurting your business. And there's not any in between. There's not a, well, I'm trying to make an effort. No, because we as consumers going online won't tolerate trying. One really important thing to keep in mind is that we as business owners and entrepreneurs, we fool ourselves all the time. Mark Cuban even says we lie to ourselves as entrepreneurs more than any other group of people, and I believe that. When it comes to your online marketing, the things you do for your business, it's really easy to look at it and say, oh, that just looks great, and the message is really clear. But I want you to take yourself out of your business for just a second, and I want you to go and think of yourself as a consumer. Let's talk about how you can succeed online and what's really necessary, because it comes down to 3 things. 3 simple things, but 3 simple things that are very difficult to do correctly. Okay, so number 1, let's talk about your website. There are 2 parts to your website that are critical, and I see this when I go and analyze business websites all the time. Number 1 is the content is terrible. You don't have the right things being said in the right way, let alone the calls to action that get people to interact with you. But the content is almost always wrong. Number 2, and probably most important, is most websites don't work on mobile. Either they're too old or you just haven't paid attention to it. Why is that important? It's important because almost 80% of the people that are looking for your business or wanting to interact with you online are using a mobile phone. So if you're not ready for the mobile experience, then it hurts your business. Because if someone picks up their phone, if I pick up my phone, I'm just like you, and I go to look at a website and it doesn't work, I'm moving on. And I'm not gonna go take the time to sit down at my computer because most of what I'm doing is on my phone. I'm filming this video on my iPhone 6s Plus. All right, so thing number 2, let's talk about social media. There are 2 aspects to social media for me. Number 1 is, what footprint do you have in social media? Most people try to do too much. Oh, I gotta be on Facebook, and I gotta be on Twitter, and I gotta be Snapchat, and the list goes on and on and on. No, you don't. No, you don't. First and foremost, let's get on Facebook and let's provide the right kind of content and interaction that works, because there are 1.8 billion users. Now, second part of social media is advertising. Again, I'm gonna go back to Facebook, 1.8 billion users. You wanna spend your ad dollars on Facebook. Those 2 aspects of social media, having the right content on Facebook, on a Facebook page, and using Facebook as a way to market your business, are very complicated to do correctly. Very simple to do incorrectly. Anyone can throw up a Facebook page and anyone can go spend money on Facebook ads. However, even as easy as Facebook makes it to get that done, the targeting aspects are amazing. There are all kinds of other things that go into retargeting, to making sure that you understand the analytics of what's happening and who you're reaching. When we talk about content on social media, let me tell you one thing that One Blue Robot is focusing on almost exclusively, and that's video. The biggest trend for 2017 is video. And I don't have to tell you any of these things. You understand that's the case. When you get on your mobile phone or your computer and you're scrolling through Facebook, just using that as an example, what are you typically doing? You're not sitting and reading a bunch of dialogue that someone put out there, unless it happens to be someone you know. You're looking for the stuff you pause on is almost always video. But how do you use video? Video needs to be authentic, it needs to be behind the scenes, and it needs to be something that's just not glamour shots of you and your business. People want to see authenticity, and that's what social media combined with video will allow you to do. Now, the last of these 3 things, once you've done all the hard work of making sure your website is correct, has the right content, has the right calls to action, is funneling people correctly to get them from leads to customers, and it works on mobile, you also have your social media correct, you're using video primarily, you're making sure the content of the video is the right kind of content delivered in the right way, and you're using social media to advertise, especially primarily on all of that Facebook. The third and final thing is, I'm going to go back to Mark Cuban real quick. He says any business that doesn't have a focus on sales will be out of business. Just because you think you have a great idea and people will come does not mean they're going to come. Your focus has to be on sales. And that process can be short for some and long for many. So what does that mean? That means that when you begin to interact with people, you have to have a way to capture their information, their contact information, and be able to know who they are 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now so that you can interact with them properly. Right. So now that we've talked about these three things, I want to recap the whole discussion. I'm going to re-emphasize, stop doing traditional marketing and wasting your time and money. I promise that's what it is. But let me add to that. If you're trying to do the three things that I've described on your own, I think you're going to find more frustration and more anguish and more wasted money because it's so technical and so tricky to do it correctly that trying to do it on your own while you're managing a business is just going to leave it a mess and people are never going to pay attention. Reach out to us. Let us know that you'd like us to take a look at what you're doing online, and we'll tell you honestly. If we think we can make a difference for you, then we'll come on board. If we don't think we can make a difference for you, we're going to tell you that. We understand website, we understand content, we understand analytics, we understand marketing on social media, we understand the content that should be there. And we understand automated processes that will help us make sure that however long a sales process is for you, whether it is 1 day or 1 year, we have an ongoing method to engage with your clients. So go do it now, reach out to us, and we're going to look forward to showing you how powerful, finally, your marketing could be in growing your business in 2017. Oh, there's a doggy. All right, pause for a second. Yes. Okay. Does that make any sense? And we're awesome.